There is a quiet in late 2025 that does not feel empty. It feels like the pause a mountain takes before releasing a sunrise, the hush a river holds before it splits into two paths. Capricorn, something inside you has been listening for a long time. Listening beneath the noise, beneath everyone's expectations, beneath your own iron codes of discipline and duty. The ear inside your chest has grown keen. It can hear the small tremors of destiny shifting under your feet. And tonight, your name echoes back from the stone. You have carried the ancient weight of responsibility so well that people sometimes forget you're made of fire under the earth. They do not see the secret crack where the first light sneaks in, but you see it. You can feel it. Late 2025 arrives like a whisper at the back of your neck, saying it's time, not for a reckless upheaval, but for a sacred reordering, one that respects how hard you have worked and how much you have endured. The mountain is not moving to test you. It is moving to meet you halfway. Before we climb, take a breath with me. If this message resonates with your inner compass, subscribe to the channel so you can stay close to the guidance that's been seeking you. Signs and Secrets is a home for souls who are tired of surface answers and ready for the language of depth. Let's keep walking. Prophecy 1. The stone awakens. A long-stuck structure in your life, one that seemed immovable, will suddenly loosen. It could be a career pattern, a silence in your family, a personal belief that kept you living smaller than your spirit. You won't shatter it with force, you will outgrow it with truth. Picture a key you've carried for years without knowing which lock it belonged to. In late 2025, you will finally find the door. Strangely, the lock won't resist. It will sigh with relief, as if it has been waiting for you since before you were born. Expect to feel both grief and gratitude. Grief for the time lost inside a smaller room. Gratitude for the shape of a life that finally fits your bones. Prophecy 2. The debt is paid. You know about debts. The unpaid kindness you keep offering without complaint. The generational burdens you quietly shoulder. The promise you made to a younger version of yourself who asked you to be strong, always strong. Late 2025 brings an accounting, but not the kind that punishes. It brings a release. Something you once thought you'd have to repay forever is forgiven. The ledger closes without fanfare. You will wake up one morning, make tea, look out the window and notice that the ache you'd grown used to carrying is simply not there. You will not need to prove your worth to earn this. It comes because you have finally understood the difference between loyalty and self-abandonment. And you choose loyalty to your soul. Tell me, Capricorn, when were you born and which sign touches your heart the most, your sun, moon, or rising? Share your date of birth and your zodiac sign in the comments so I can feel the shape of your story in this constellation we're building together. Let the others read it and see themselves. The circle becomes stronger when we name ourselves. Prophecy 3. The gate of authority. There is a gate that never opens to pushing. It opens to presence. Late 2025 ushers you toward a form of power that does not feel like domination or defense. It feels like alignment. You become the person who doesn't need to argue because the truth in your voice is unmistakable. A role, a platform, or a responsibility will find you, something that finally recognizes the quality of your attention. Authority is no longer a costume you wear at work and take off at home. It is an inner posture that follows you everywhere. You speak to a child and they listen. You send an email and doors swing silently on their hinges. You say no without apology and yes without fear. The gate will not ask you to audition. It will swing because your presence is the password. The hands that hold the rope, Capricorn. You are the climber who knows that the rope does not make the ascent painless. It makes it possible. You are the patient pulse that learns the mountain's breathing. By late 2025, something tender happens between you and your ambition. You stop using it to outrun your loneliness. You stop shaping your life like a fortress. The hands that hold the rope are no longer clenched. Your work becomes a devotion rather than a defense. Your discipline becomes a language of love you speak to your future self. There is a confession you have been rehearsing for years without saying aloud. It isn't dramatic. It's simple. I want a life that feels like it is mine. This confession is a compass. Late 2025 invites you to align with it again and again. If the life you've built doesn't echo back this wanting, you will hear the dishonesty in its walls, and you will have the courage to peel back what doesn't belong. Not all at once, but faithfully, like a mason who knows the cost of shortcuts. You will choose the slower yes over the fast approval. You will choose depth over applause. If this is already stirring your heart and you want more people to find their way here, like this video. It tells the river of the algorithm to flow the message toward the thirsty, and we both know there are many. Join as a member to support the channel and unlock exclusive content. Prophecy 4, the unexpected tenderness. Capricorn's strength is legendary, but late 2025 alters the definition of strong for you. Strong is no longer the refusal to cry. It is the willingness to feel. An old wound, perhaps around being valued only for your usefulness, will be met by someone who sees you when you are not performing. The tenderness will make you suspicious at first. You'll scan it for hidden hooks. You won't find any. The lesson is to receive without bargaining away your soul, to rest without apologizing for it, to admit that you have always wanted to be held not as a trophy, but as a human. This tenderness may arrive through a partner, a child, a mentor, or even a spiritual encounter that meets you in a dream. However it comes, it teaches your heart a new grammar, the verbs of soften, open, trust. Prophecy 5. The rightful union. There is a union forming, of talents within you, of people around you, of timing and grace. It is not only about romantic love, though it could include it. Think of union as a harmony that chooses you because you became audible to it. In late 2025, a collaboration or relationship emerges that feels eerily precise, like two puzzle pieces cut by the same rain. The old pattern of doing everything yourself becomes impractical, even counter-spiritual. You will hand someone a piece of your vision and watch them carry it as carefully as you do. This is not the merging that erases you. It is the weaving that reveals your true pattern. You will know it's rightful because your body unclenches, your breath deepens. You move toward it without bargaining away your values. You may feel small waves of fear as this union appears. The fear says, if I let someone in, I'll lose control. The wiser voice answers, control is not the same as sovereignty. Sovereignty means you govern your energy with love, not with panic. It means you can keep your boundaries and still be changed by closeness. This union will not cage your freedom, it will multiply it. You will grow more yourself in the presence of this agreement, not less. Prophecy 6, the ocean and the oath. A journey calls your name, literal travel, a relocation, a return to a place that once hurt you but now invites healing, or a brave movement into a field of study that scares and excites you. The ocean is the teacher here. It does not beg the shore to move. It kisses it into surrender. You do not need to convince anyone to permit this next chapter. In late 2025, you make an oath to yourself. I will not stay where my soul cannot sing. From that vow, logistics begin to behave. The apartment appears, the mentor replies, the ticket price drops, the timing clicks. You will not run from your life. You will walk toward the truer one. The work of gold. A lot of people talk about alchemy, as if everything impure can be turned gold in an afternoon. You know better. You know gold is not a paint, it is a process. Late 2025 is the season when your process matures like fruit that has finally tasted enough sun. Do not be surprised if you look ordinary on the outside while something extraordinary finishes ripening within. Capricorn magic is subtle. It does not need a spotlight because it carries its own dawn. Let's be tender with the parts of you that are tired. Maybe you spent a decade holding up a sky that didn't belong to you. Maybe you measured love by how many fires you could put out in a day. Maybe you learned to survive by believing your value depended on being unbreakable. Late 2025 invites you to retire from the performance of invincibility. It asks you to become available to joy, not as a reward for perfection, but as a birthright. Joy is not naive, it is disciplined wonder. It is the daily decision to see meaning even when the earth is muddy and the inbox is cruel. It is the posture of a soul that has stopped arguing with its own worth. The stone awakens becomes practical now. You might receive an offer that mirrors your internal shift, a position with more influence and less noise, a project that aligns with your ethics instead of stretching them, a chance to teach what you've earned the right to teach through scar and victory. The debt is paid becomes a living boundary. You stop volunteering for battles you did not start. You stop explaining your no to people who profit from your confusion. You refuse to be emotionally blackmailed by nostalgia. You allow the old chapter to end without asking it to bless your new beginning. Meanwhile, the gate of authority asks you to speak clearly, cleanly, calmly. Authority is soft-spoken in you. You will not yell to be heard. You will write the policy. You will design the system that prevents the harm you once endured. When a younger soul arrives trembling, you will not lecture. You will place a steady hand on their shoulder and remind them you are not late. You are right on time. Breathe. You become the mentor you needed, and in doing so, your own healing accelerates. Midway through all this, the tenderness of love or friendship arrives again. There will be evenings when laughter feels like medicine you didn't know your spirit could metabolize. There will be mornings when your body, once armored, feels like a home rather than a battlefield. You may cry in the kitchen for no reason other than your nervous system finally believing it is safe. That's how you know the prophecy is not performance, it's integration. If you are still with me, it's because your soul is answering. Let the algorithm know you are here, like this video, so that this message finds the ones who need it next. And if what I'm saying has been mirroring your secret life, share your date of birth and zodiac sign in the comments. Not just for me, but for the community that is learning to read itself with kindness. Speak the truth of your timing. Others will recognize themselves in your map. The summit and the sky summits are lonelier than people admit. The air is thin, words are few, and the view can be both holy and cruel. Late 2025 offers you a summit, but it is not a pedestal. It is a perspective. From here, you can see backward with compassion and forward with sobriety. You forgive versions of yourself that survived by any means necessary. You bless the stubbornness that kept you moving when you had no right to. You release the soundtrack of should have. You turn down the volume on what if, and you turn up the volume on watch me now. The unexpected tenderness follows you to this height. Someone will celebrate you without envy. Someone will hold your face in their hands and say, you are allowed to be proud. You will realize that pride can be sacred when it grows out of integrity. You will post less and live more. You will curate not an image, but a reality that keeps your nervous system soft and your spirit awake. People will talk. Let them. The gate you pass through is not theirs to understand. The rightful union becomes a structure. By the end of 2025, it might look like a business birth certificate, a shared lease, a band on your finger, or a team that finally plays like music. Do not expect the old loneliness to vanish completely. The human heart is a sky where weather happens. But expect the loneliness to become honest, brief, and instructive, rather than shapeless and punishing. Expect your days to contain a rhythm that honors both your need to build and your need to be held. The ocean and the oath lead to a map on your table. You will touch the place you are meant to go and feel a yes that hums like electricity. You will keep your oath to yourself. I will not stay where my soul cannot sing. Perhaps you will pack the boxes. Perhaps you will finally sign up for the training the old fear told you you're not ready for. Perhaps you will drive to the house where an apology never came and leave flowers anyway. Not for them, but for the version of you that needed closure. You will not force the shore to move. You will kiss it into surrender, and the water will teach you how to return to yourself again and again. Now, Capricorn, I want to say this plainly. You are not behind. The timing that built you was not a punishment. It was a preparation. You have not missed what is yours. You have been growing a root system the world could not see. Late 2025 is not the end of the climb. It is the end of pretending you don't deserve the view. What comes next is a way of living where your outer life matches the inner covenant you made with your soul. Let's gather all 6 prophecies in your palm and feel their warmth. The stone awakens. Your door opens with a key you've carried for years. The debt is paid. An old ache leaves without asking your permission to go. The gate of authority. Your presence becomes the password. The unexpected tenderness, strength becomes the courage to feel. The rightful union, harmony chooses you because you became audible to it. The ocean and the oath, you refuse to live where your song cannot be sung. Hold them, breathe, choose one. Small action this week that honors the one that burns brightest. Write a letter, make a call, decline the obligation that drains you. Say yes to the class. Look at the apartment listing. Practice receiving praise without shrinking away from it. Lay down the rope for a night and let someone else keep watch. You are not abandoning the mountain. You are learning to belong to it without abandoning yourself. If this vision steadied you, subscribe so you don't lose the thread of your own becoming. Like this video to send a signal to the ones who have been climbing in the dark and need a lantern. Share your date of birth and zodiac sign below so we can hold your timing in our hands and call your name back to you when you forget it. You made it this far, not because you are unbreakable, but because you are devoted. Late 2025 meets that devotion with doors, with softness, with sky. If you want to hear everything the universe has to say to you, watch these other videos on our channel.